poverty is everybody's business in the community, and that you can't have a sustainable community when you have poverty. It's not a viable economic model. It doesn't work for anybody.
We've been doing the same thing for the same reasons for a long time, and we haven't been getting any different results.
If you're a business, if you're a government, if you're a downtown improvement district, if you're a hospital, if you hope to be successful with any efforts, you've got to know the culture that you're working with.
I think that Bridges works in communities because it does a couple of things uniquely. One of those things is that it brings people from all economic classes to the table, to the decision-making table, and people's voices are actually heard.
This isn't a program, it's a framework. The constructs can virtually address every issue that come up.
The most valuable practice is the paradigm shift to seeing individuals as strong, not as wrong.
It is much more about brokering services to be able to get people out of poverty and engaging the community to end poverty.
So the way we engage people who are in poverty is to use Getting Ahead. It's a workbook that people do in groups of 10 or 12 with a facilitator. And they investigate together the impact that poverty's had on them and their community.
The Getting Ahead program, I call it the high octane fuel in the tank. It is the piece that will drive this forward.
As people begin to move out of poverty and they begin to build their resources, they encounter barriers. And when they encounter barriers, then the middle class steering committee that includes people in poverty now begin to knock those barriers over.
Since completing Getting Ahead, the thing that is most different for me is that I now have people I can depend on. I have role models, and I have friends, I have mentors, and they help give me the strength and courage I need to continue in my path to self-sufficiency.
I had a bad criminal past. I was homeless. I'm no longer homeless. I've gotten a job. My stability's a lot better. I have gained custody of one of my children, my oldest boy, so he's living with me now, and everything's been going great since.
The end goal is sustainability. And then the resources that Bridges has, those become the stepping stones to sustainability. It's measurable, it has very clear paradigms, it's well researched.
Our hospital, Fletcher Allen Healthcare, is the largest employer in the state of Vermont. Within their environmental services department, which is about 200 employees, they had a 40% annual turnover rate, and approximately 50% of that was happening in the first 90 days. As a result of participating in Working Bridges and other strategies that they've been trying out, they have seen a 50% improvement in the turnover rate in that department and a 50% improvement in the unscheduled absences of employees.
Although the community colleges educate over half of all students who go to school in this country, and most under-resourced students do go through community colleges, we still have retention rates and graduation rates that need to be greatly improved. The Bridges concepts, in my opinion, is very much the answer to that.
So applying the Bridges concepts and Ruby Payne's ideas in the higher education setting is really very revolutionary.
My staff has been trained in Bridges, and I think that it affects our productivity in our office. I've seen those numbers increase. I've seen decreases in complaints or frustrations with our court, and I do believe that a lot of that comes from Bridges.
For me, when I learned about Bridges, you know, those really wonderful components about the language differences, the differences of class, the resources of people in poverty, understanding all those components, I was going, yes, it was an aha moment.
The benefits of using Bridges is that not just abstractly thinking and philosophizing about this work, it quickly boils down to the concrete. So what are we going to do? Not just how are we going to better understand. It includes that, but at some point you're drawn to the point of urgency that you then must act on it.
And I really see that there is some difference and some power in this work because it allows us to have a set of powerful concepts that everybody gets. So whether you're from wealth, middle class, or from poverty, everybody has access to that.
The one thing that I really want people to leave with is that unless we're intentional, conscious, and deliberate about this work, and always being reflective and examining what we're doing, we're going to continue to get the same stuff. And if you have bridges, that idea of never being able to go back and see things the same way, it means it's the catalyst to keep us moving forward, and that will help everyone. And that's the thing that I think is invaluable about this work.